With trains not running because the Fiddleyard baseboard construction is still ongoing, I need a way to stop the trains, even just visually. So join me this week as I show you how simple it is to install an Absolute Aspects 3-aspect signal. So hello and welcome once again to New Junction. Right, as you can see, progress on the Fiddleyard boards behind me is ongoing. There has been a slight pause while North has to go to work or some nonsense like that, some excuse. So I thought I'd do something on the layout this week, and that is, of course, I'm going to install my first 3-aspect signal, but with a difference. I want to control it digitally through my handset, so while I'm controlling the trains, I also want to be able to control the signals. I'm going to show you how easy it is. So for this, I'm going to need obviously the Absolute Aspects signal. In this case, it's the 3-aspect jobby, and the anatomy of it is said signal, connecting rods, and of course it comes down to its PCB. Now for this installation, we actually don't need this PCB, so we put that to one side, and I'll show you what we use in a second. To control it, of course, we're going to need a Traintech SC2. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will realise that the instructions on this say SC1, but the actual board is an SC2. So what I've done is I've laid out the signal as it will be on the layout, and as it will be with multiple signals you'll have on the layout. So very simply, these are the bus wires on the layout, the red and black wires, and they plug straight into the back of the SC2. So you can either come straight off your bus wires that feed the track, or you can do a separate accessory line, which I'm fast approaching, where your points and signals can all come off a secondary loop. This brings us on to the SC2 board. Now, again, these are all screw fixings, so there's no soldering, which is wonderful. And as you can see, the colours represented match the instructions that come with it, but also they are representative of the lights they then control. Now, I mentioned earlier that the PCB that was underneath the signal is actually not being used in this video. Now, this cable here is a custom job by Absolute Aspects, and it's a loom of cables which they put together, which allows me to use the SC2 and the digital control. This was about an extra £5 at the time of filming, so whether that changes or not, and it quite simply plugs straight into the signal, same again, no soldering, and it's lined up by 2 half semicircle cutouts which represent the front. And it's as simple as that. Now we just have to put it on the layout. The first step is to think of where to put this signal. So being a 3-aspect, the direction of travel is that way. I'm going to put it here, and ordinarily you see them on the ballast shoulder, so I'm going to put it as near as possible without affecting the shoulder, so that's probably going to be somewhere like that. And then I'm going to, using a flathead, I'm just going to mark out where it is so I can drill my hole. It's as simple as that. So I'll take this off and move it out of the way, and we'll drill a hole. Moving on to a chisel or file, I'm just going to open up this hole and make it just the right size for the base of the signal. So the hole's ready, so just a gentle file just to smooth out the edges. And that includes the underside as well. So with the signal installed, it's now time to turn the power off onto the layout and wire up the other end before connecting the signal to the loom underneath. Right, so the next step, as you can see, we push the loom through. Now, paying attention to the half semicircle, which denotes the which way's forward on the loom, and it matches what's on the bottom of the signal. And then very simply push it in like a DCC chip. Once it's secure, we gently thread it back through, making sure you're happy with the position. And there we go. And now it's ready to be turned on and programmed. So as you can see, I have plugged in the power and the signal has come on, although it is not controllable as of yet. Programming with the SC2 does seem a little intimidating because, as you can see, you get quite a mountain of paperwork, but it is quite simple once you deduce which bit of the instructions you need. So the first thing to do is to press the learn button on the SC2 and the signal will begin to flash. This is a good point to check that all the signals are lighting up, which means that power is getting to all of them. And basically, this is now in learn mode. So on my controller, if I now press accessory, then number 75 in this instance, and then enter, that will then save the function to the SC2. And all being well, that will mean that I'm now in full control of the signal using the on and off switch. And there we go. However, being on or off, I can only currently control the green and red lights on this 3-aspect signal. So I've got to do it all again. So to control the amber signal, I'm going to do things slightly differently. So I'm going to set the address, accessory address, to number 76 first on the controller. Then I'm going to press the learn button twice on the SC2 board underneath the layout. And then I'm going to flick on or off, which will then program the signal. And then, in theory, I've now got control of the amber as well on a different function number. This stage did take me a couple of goes, but for it to save, presumably, to the chip. But once it worked first time, and it was me causing the upset. And as you can see, the signal is now on, and it's hopefully under my control. So in theory, on my controller, all I have to do is select accessory 75, and then I can control the signal. As you can see, it goes from red to green on accessory 75. And then if I select accessory 76, I can control it going to amber. And there we go, controllable signals. I want to say a big thank you very much to Thomas at Absolute Aspects for all the help and support he's given me, because believe it or not, there were a lot of questions behind the scenes, but he got me up and running, no problem at all. I'll put a non-affiliate link down below in the comments, of course, so you can see where I got the signal, because they do everything from ground signals, 2, 3, 4 aspects, feathers, oh, you name it, they do the lot. Well worth looking into. And of course, again, non-affiliate link down below, so do check them out if you'd like to add your own signal. Right, in the meantime, work will continue on the baseboards very soon, and hopefully that'll be in next week's video. Who knows, we may even have a loop of track down by then. Fingers crossed, touch wood, you know the sayings. So for now, I'm just going to leave you and say thank you very much as ever for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and I'll see you very soon in the next layout update. Bye for now.